A fun storyline for you, Matt. Bob Nightengale, our guy, friend of the show, with an interesting report for the early May of 2025, saying the Dodgers plan to jump into, quote, Kyle Tucker's free agency fray, is what Nightengale reports. Tucker, 28-year-old outfielder, of course, playing for the Cubs, expected to be a free agent at the end of this year. Up until this point, the Cubs have not been able to extend him. I imagine they are trying. He is exclusively a right fielder dating back to 2020. It's worth pointing that out. He played 28 innings in center in 2021 and has basically played 5,500 innings in right field since then. He is 10th in wins above replacement since 2021, just a spot or two behind Mookie Betts for some context. So this guy's really freaking good. He plays the outfield, which is a position that you can pretty much pencil in the Dodgers needing help in the offseason. What do you make of this story from Nightengale? Which, by the way, he adds they may not be the high bidder, but they will surely keep people honest, just like they did with Juan Soto.
Not surprising. I know this is something Scott and Blake, it might have been during the off season or early this, or maybe in spring training at some point on some of their Thursday night shows that they were doing. I think this was a possibility, if not a likelihood, that they sort of hinted at for the Dodgers. It makes sense. I mean, I know at first reaction for some people might be, how are they going to afford another, $450, $500 million player type thing? I lost my train of thought. I apologize.
Go listen to Stan Kasten when he came on our show as an interview last week and said the sales guys always lie to him about revenues, and they lied to him on Ohtani, but in the wrong direction. So I think based on Stan Kasten's response, I don't think money's going to be the issue.
Yeah, good point. I don't know if I wouldn't necessarily deem them the favorite per se. I think obviously if somebody, with Kyle Tucker's talent, you make it work. But I looked at his fielding history because I thought for some reason I thought he had played a little bit more center field than he has. I thought maybe some left field as well. I know that if the Dodgers go to Teoscar Hernandez and say, hey, we can sign Kyle Tucker, but he needs to play right field, can you please go back to left? Like, he's not going to make an issue out of it, but Teoscar,
you don't think it's going to be Rafael Devers 2.0 over here in LA?
Yeah, probably not. Not probably, definitely not. But Teoscar has been on record that his preferred position is right field. So
yeah,
it would be a little bit of a cleaner fit, honestly, if Kyle Tucker was a little bit more of a center fielder, because then at that point if you want to leave Teoscar in right field, fine. Then you put Tucker in center field, and you could put Andy Pages in left. But I think the Dodgers could certainly still make it work if Tucker needs to play right field and you figure out Teoscar and Pages.
Yeah. According to Fangraphs, by the way, he has played nothing but right field since 2022. The last 4 seasons, it has been exclusively in right field. The last time he played left field was in 2020. The last time he played center field he has 29 career innings in center field. So my first thought was, is there a way to fit that in? What's interesting is obviously Teoscar under contract for a couple of years. 2 thoughts. One is, let's assume this is a real report, which I don't necessarily think it is. I'll get to that in a second. Let's assume this is a real report. He can't play center field. So we're left with the exact same scenario we are currently in, which is who the hell's playing center field? I think we're in alignment that neither of us wants to sign up for Andy Pages' long-term answer in center field, and he's hitting well. I'm not saying Andy Pages is the reason you don't sign Kyle Tucker. I'm just saying it's that this solves a sort of problem, which is corner outfield, that isn't really a major problem. Now, Kyle Tucker is probably good enough to justify it, but here's my second point, and maybe the more significant one. Isn't this whoever his agent is floating this out there to say, hey, Cubs, remember that number we floated to you and you told us we were crazy? Do you really want to do the Juan Soto thing? Like, do you remember how big that number got to? Do you want to just give us our money now and we don't all have to worry about this? Like, I think this is total smoke, total BS. Do I think it's the Dodgers would be? And yes. Do I think Nightengale has a source that the Dodgers are going to be in on Kyle Tucker and he's reporting that story in May for any reason other than to help Kyle Tucker's side? No, I don't believe that for a second.
Yeah, and that's fair. I mean, obviously, I think if the Cubs were struggling this season, then it would lean more towards, like Kyle Tucker is leaving, but they're playing well. And so, yeah, if you're his representatives, why not, get this out there and try to squeeze, an extra 10, 15, 20 minutes, whatever it might be out of the Cubs. Like, look, we're contending right now. Tucker is willing to sign an extension if it's the right price. And the big bad Dodgers looming in free agency several months from now could certainly get it there, then so it wouldn't be the first nor the last time the Dodgers were used as
Totally.
leverage by other parties in free agency.
And I want to emphasize, I really like Kyle Tucker, the player. Like, if the Dodgers sign him, it will be an exciting day for the Dodgers, and he's awesome. I mentioned, since 2021, he's 10th in all of Major League Baseball in wins above replacement. He's like 2.5 wins over 4 seasons below Mookie Betts. And it's the last 4 seasons. We all know how good Mookie Betts has been for the last 4 seasons. So he's one of the better players in Major League Baseball. So if you have the chance to go sign him, nobody should be complaining if they do. Like, this guy doesn't suck. He's not overrated. He's very, very good. And like, classically, do the Dodgers need him? No, but would he be nice to have? Absolutely.
I think the other wrinkle that you could need is a strong word, but you could, if you factor in his age, he's 28, and we just got done, praising Freddie Freeman, but he is, on the wrong side of 35 at this point, right? Like, Kyle Tucker could be part of kind of the next core and a little bit younger group that kind of keeps things sustained, which we know Andrew Friedman has mentioned every time. Like, they're focused on this season, whatever year it is, and then also a year, 2 years, 3 years down the line. And more times than not, we take that to mean prospects and developing and stuff like that. But I think you could apply it to the Kyle Tucker situation, considering he's only 28 years old.
Totally. So we'll see. I mean, again, I think this is an easy report. 1, because of course the Dodgers are going to be in on any good player. And 2, I just think the timing is a little fishy, but I'm curious to hear from people in the comments whether or not they agree with that or not.